Alright, we learned something between the Tom and Jerry video and this video, which is that if it's hot in here, we can take off our jackets. Before we came downstairs, I almost put my jacket back on.
Right.
And was like, whoa,
Wait, we don't need to.
Hang on. Let me just think about this here for a second. Don't let the snow that's still on the ground fool you. It is going to be an oven inside of the parking garage. The funniest reviews are when, like, it's for something controversial. Not that this movie's controversial. It's not. At least I don't think it is. But
I felt Scooby and Shaggy's performance very problematic.
Sweating. That's what when it's like a controversial movie, but the car's really hot, and so you're sweating bullets, and it just looks like you're nervous to talk about the movie. That's happened to us before. It's really funny. Well, you are the perfect person to talk about this movie, though, since you kind of are Shaggy.
Like Zoinks! Like Zoinks!
Start eating a sandwich, like, right in the middle of the video.
Right there, I just started to say Jinkies and Zoinks at the same time.
It's like two different characters.
I know, right?
Allow me to lose my glasses. Thank you. I'm so glad that Matthew Lillard does the voice in all of these.
He does do a good Shaggy
great.
impression.
He's absolutely fantastic. Is this the first one of, like, the direct-to-video, direct-to-on-demand animated movies that you've seen of these?
No, like I've seen, I think it was The Witch's Ghost.
I've honestly only seen a couple of them.
Yeah.
And today when I was picking out the extra thing for us to watch, because it's like, okay, Tom and Jerry's a must, Wrong Turn's a must. What else is there? Okay, there's the Russo brothers movie, Cherry. It's supposed to be pretty bad. It's like 2.5 hours. Wait a minute, 70-minute Scooby-Doo movie? There you go. Right up our alley. And I don't know about you, but I liked it better than the Tom and Jerry movie.
Yeah.
This one didn't open with pigeons singing "Can I Kick It" in front of my face. Automatically better movie. But I did like the Halloween one better of these Scooby-Doo, recent, like, Scooby-Doo animated movies. You didn't see, we were talking about the Halloween one when we were on the phone the other day, and I go, yeah, I think we'll probably watch this Sword in the Scoob movie coming out. And you're like, I don't know. I'm like, no, the Halloween one was really good. And then I'm like, wait, I might have jinxed it. So it turned out really bad. You're going to be like, oh yeah, good idea, genius.
Yeah, great choice, Brad.
This is good, huh? All right, fucking idiot. Or you stoned off your ass when you watched the Halloween one.
Oh, that's what this movie needed. We should have gotten high.
Oh. Break into Laura's stuff. She comes home. What'd you do? We're like, honey, we were watching a Scooby-Doo movie.
Right.
You left us alone. What did you think was going to happen? It's like on The Simpsons, like, Homer, don't eat this pie. All right, Weed, I'm just going to go like this. And if you get smoked, it's your own fault. I did like the Halloween one better than this one. Okay. But I mean, a Halloween set thing that also had it had Elvira in it and a few other characters. I mean, that kind of thing certainly goes hand in hand with Scooby-Doo.
Totally,
like, I remember thinking that when I was watching, like, this is a cool thing to put on during the Halloween season. 70 minutes, you have fun with the Scooby-Doo throwback with all these Halloween characters and imagery coming up. This is like a King Arthur's Court parody with Scooby-Doo characters. I'm more into Halloween stuff than I am like Arthurian legends. I mean, there's a few like King Arthur things I like, but by and large, you know, I'm more into the kind of thing that the Halloween Scooby-Doo special was than this King Arthur parody with the Sword in the Stone parody with these characters. If you're more into that kind of thing than I might be, maybe you'll gravitate towards this a little more than me. This, I watched it and was kind of like, it's all right. Like, it had its fair share of laughs in it.
Yeah.
Nothing that, when it was over, I can't say I sat there like, boy, am I glad I watched that. I didn't regret it really, but it just kind of felt like a 70-minute time killer.
Yeah.
I did, comparatively speaking of some of the other King Arthur stuff I've reviewed on here, I did enjoy it better than, Unidentified Flying Oddball, the Disney one where the guy goes back in time and he uses Playboy magazines as currency. I did like it was better than, 70s Disney, dude. And, that other King Arthur classic, Transformers 5, like this movie better. I like this movie better than Black Knight, which I reminded you during the middle of it was a movie that existed. But what did you think of it?
Everything you said, I agree with. I will say I'm more into like medieval fantasy stuff than you are. I certainly dug the Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
I was just telling you about my recent well, sort of. I mean, I kind of hinted at my most recent visit to medieval times.
Yeah. I love the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Medieval times, yeah. My medieval trilogy of movies, that was good. Excalibur, Classic, Willow, and of course the Cable Guy. That is my medieval trilogy that I
mean, Willow's great.
Willow's awesome.
Willow is awesome.
Excalibur's so freaking cool. This I probably won't add to that.
Right.
Day watching those three movies. I got a decent amount of laughs at this. It's hard for me to get mad at anything that opens up with Thundar the Barbarian. And I did enjoy, I'm not going to say how, but I did like how it is more than just a reference. Like, it actually does factor into the plot.
Yeah. Them
showing Thundar the Barbarian.
Yeah,
the movie opens with a guy watching it on his TV, on his tablet on a plane. And, the animation is on par with the other Scooby-Doo movies like this that you've seen, and I do like that. It's a good, I've said this before in the other review, it's a good hybrid of like the classic Scooby-Doo animation, but modernized, without making it feel too modernized, really.
Yeah.
It's a good balance of modern animation and what the show looked like back in the day.
Yeah, sure. Can I go ahead and bring up my my issues with it?
No.
Okay.
This is a positive show.
Oh, okay.
You don't bring me down with your negative shit.
I just wasn't sure if you were like...
my note right here. Yeah. Don't let Jared say anything bad about this movie.
I just wasn't sure if you had a flow, and I didn't want to interrupt that.
No, I had way more notes about Tom and Jerry. I had 5 things on here. And in my notes, it was like a page of shit with Tom and Jerry.
So I can pad this out then. Okay, great.
Please, by all means, just start reviewing Willow.
Bad Mardigan, you are
great. Let's just pull up the script. Hey, me gosh,
I stole the baby.
Birdle cut, I swear. You're gonna what?
You are drunk, and when you are drunk, you forget that I am the leader.
I know who I'm reviewing the Willow series with when that comes out. No, go ahead. What were some tips you had?
I just, I mean, I called it like right when 5 minutes in. I was just like, oh, well, they just gave away the plot right there. And we're avoiding spoilers, so I
think I know where you're going with this. And
you do expect the way that it turns out, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, okay.
So without... It went in the direction I thought it was going to go. Now this, I remember also thinking this about the Halloween one. The Halloween one I liked a lot. I did. It was very humorous and well done. It was funny.
Yeah.
I remember thinking the same thing in that movie that I did in this.
Oh, really?
Where it's like, it's reaching a point where I know you're going to explain this in a logical sense, but you've kind of gone way far past that.
Right.
Like, to where I know what you're going to do. I know how you're going to try to explain this.
Yeah.
it's not like I'm wanting this to be a documentary or something like that, or completely set in reality.
Yeah.
But when you go really far into what is clearly some kind of fantasy thing happening, to then try to explain it in a logical sense.
Yeah.
At a point sort of feels like cheating.
Right.
And I remember feeling that way in the last one too. And it does it again in this, where it's sort of like, we can do whatever we want here in the first 2 acts of this film and just kind of give it this loose explanation, and you gotta just go along with it. Now, I will to a point, because it still had some laughs, but there is a small amount of, come on, don't bullshit me.
Exactly.
Like, I totally agree with you.
And the thing is, there were some early direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movies where they were fighting real monsters, like real ghosts and stuff like that. And I thought that this was that. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, okay.
No, I figured it would kind of do what the show usually did.
Sure, yeah.
And what, a couple of the other direct-to-video movies I saw.
Yeah.
I did like, I like the explanation of King Arthur in it. That was huge. I did like that. That was a good payoff. I thought. There were some good lines. I did like the line where Merlin brings up Barney Rubble, and he mentions Barney Rubble, and Jake's like, Barney Rubble, he's from the future. He's like, no, he's a caveman.
Right, I did like that too.
Touche. It's like, I guess that's true. I like that means Barney Rubble does exist in this Hanna-Barbera universe, of course, but he's long dead.
Right.
Fred and Barney are way dead. It had one of the most random references that I never thought I would see in something like this, where it's when they're in the library at the beginning and something pops out that scares Shaggy and Scooby, and they find them hiding on a bookshelf behind some books, and the book that was in front of them said a great hiding place, like the hiding place. I'm like, I looked up, I was like, is a great hiding place the name of a book? And I'm thinking of the Corrie ten Boom hiding place. I looked up as soon as I typed in a great hiding place book. No, the hiding place is just what came up. So I'm sitting there watching it going like, wasn't expecting a Holocaust reference in a Scooby-Doo. And then Shaggy goes, the book's right, this is a great hiding place. I'm like, that's the message he got out of that book. Where am I gonna hide? Like, I didn't, right, it went in a direction I didn't think it was gonna go. Okay.
Like, wow. Well, okay there, Hanna-Barbera. Wow.
And there is something that will just always be funny about these characters running away from things.
These characters are endearing as hell. You cannot be bored watching a Scooby-Doo adventure and any kind.
I appreciate it more as an adult than I did when I was a kid. I could say the same thing about Tom and Jerry, honestly. I appreciate it more as an adult. And this I do like this a lot better. Same with that Halloween one. I do like this a lot better than that theatrical Scoob that came out. That Tom and Jerry movie was just 90 minutes of just freaking pandering.
Right.
Whereas this, whether you love it or just kind of think it's it is a good representation of Scooby-Doo, of those characters. You just might like it more or less than some of the others, but it does still through and through feel like a Scooby-Doo story, a Scooby-Doo plot, just in medieval times. And like I said, I like it a lot better than that theatrical movie that just came out, but there's other direct-to-video ones, like I said, that I would put higher than this. This I just kind of thought it was okay.
Are we staying vague about it? Because we haven't...
Stay vague. It is a mystery.
Stay vague. Okay,
you can't totally give away the mystery.
So I will say that I did like the the flashbacks that included
when they go back in time.
Oh, okay. So we're not. Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's the plot. The plot of the movie is like it's King Arthur's court. But
okay.
Like,
so they go back in time, and during the time, in the scene where they actually go back in time, there's like little flashbacks to old Scooby-Doo cartoons.
Yeah.
And in there is a pup named Scooby-Doo, and I'm just like,
yeah, that was good. And there was some older animation that was popping up during that. No, yeah, there's always like little Easter eggs like that in some of these movies. It's one of those where I thought it was more or less kind of wrapped up at one point, and then it kind of went on for another 15 minutes.
Right,
you know? And then it ended, and you were like, how long are the credits? Only 3 minutes. This is a 73-minute movie. If this was a 70-minute horror movie we were watching, those end credits would have been 15 minutes.
Right, yeah.
I'd give it... The animation's really solid. I did get some laugh-out-loud moments in it. There's ones I thought were better. I'd give it a... I'll give it a... I'll be generous. I'll give it a B-.
B-? Okay. I won't be as generous. I'm just going to give it a C. Like,
sure. Yeah, I can see that.
Like, it was good. It was fine, you know. But, yeah, as far as, like, was it the best Scooby-Doo movie? Nah, there's better.
Yeah, there are. Maybe I should knock it down to the C+ just for for King Arthur's like in the hizzy bling ring like joke.
Right, yeah.
Slow down Tom and Jerry the movie. That was just once. I'll stick to my guns and go with the B-.
I was gonna say, don't do that. Commenters hate that.
When you change your grade. I
try to align it with the other.
Like, yeah, on a weekend where we disagreed about a movie. I got a text from Rob. One of the day I put up the Flora and Ulysses joke, I got a text from Rob he goes like, he quoted me from it where it was like, when she started crying in front of the squirrel, this movie had a tremendous amount of heart. And Rob goes, Brad, tell me that with a straight face. And stuff like that. Like, it's really good. Trust your heart, Rob.
No, to what you were saying about the bling bling thing. You know, that's kind of I
Posh
thought
King. That's what it said.
Okay,
Posh King. That was one of my 5 notes.
Gold Knuckles. Yeah. Gold Knuckles. The thing about Scooby-Doo is that throughout the decades, it always kind of pandered to that generation.
Oh,
in the 60s.
Totally.
Yeah. Pup named Scooby-Doo. There was all sorts of 80s references.
Oh, yeah. It was like, we can't make believe that, like, Scooby-Doo is always above pandering. Sometimes it's done. It doesn't automatically mean bad. Sometimes it is, and it's just kind of going along with the territory.
Right.
Other times, like in the theatrical Scooby-Doo movie, they'll just, I don't know, just start parodying American Idol out of nowhere.
yeah. Or what was in the first live action Scooby-Doo, they were on that island, and what band just like happened to just like appear out of nowhere? Was that Sugar Ray, or was it
Sugar Ray, or was it Smash Mouth?
I think it might have been Smash Mouth.
It just, either one of those makes sense. And like, I mean, even that, I'm sort of like, well, that is sort of very Hanna-Barbera, because it's like, back in the old day when the Beau Brummels were on the Flintstones, I kind of like the James Gunn Scooby-Doo a little bit. Like, you could see where it was really watered down from where they wanted to go with it.
Sure.
There was still some cleverness to it, like what they did.
I forgot James Gunn directed those. Wow.
No, I think he just wrote it.
Oh.
I want to say the director was Raja Gosnell, is that his name? The guy who did Show Dogs. But like what they did with like Scrappy and that, and like little thing like some of that was kind of clever. Sugar Ray was in the was it Father's Day, the Billy Crystal, Robin Williams like road movie where they had to go find their son, and
I guess I missed that one.
Yeah, he became like a roadie for Sugar Ray, and they had to go. they had to go find him at Sugar Ray concerts in which songs were playing that were not Sugar Ray. I saw that in the theater. I saw that in the theater when me and my dad were on a vacation to Florida. Here we are in sunny Sarasota, Florida on the beach. What do we do today? Let's go see Father's Day.
Well, you're with your dad.
We would have seen it anyway. It could have been worse. We also went to go see Black Dog, the Patrick Swayze Meatloaf trucker movie, while on vacation. I'll stick with the B-.
Okay.
C.
Yep, C.
All right, well.
C.
Thanks for watching, everyone. See ya.